Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Wednesday, number 648, Justice for Tyrone West and all victims of police brutality. Tawanda, it's all you.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to just thank everybody for tuning on, because as we know, this is Christmas Eve, and tonight I got a big treat for you guys. I got my Warrior Brothers on here. We're just waiting for my Warrior Brother Boom, but we're gonna play the video that we play every week, and we will be right back with you momentarily. Mic check.
Mic check.
Can't stop, won't stop, till killer cops are in cell blocks. Can't stop.
The following video portrays an incident of assault and violence at the hands of police. Viewer discretion is advised.
I suggest you back the fuck up.
No.
This is Baltimore City Police Officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz. In a video shot in 2016, Ruiz is seen with his knee on the back of an unknown man with a gun pointed at the man's head. His message was a clear one: concerned onlookers, adhere to my dictates or else. Here, we can hear Ruiz saying to Baltimore residents,
I suggest you back the fuck up.
No.
It is documented that Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender, even without access to all complaints against Ruiz, undisclosed by BPD Internal Affairs records. 6 cases involving Ruiz are known. This video will briefly highlight 6 total cases beginning in July of 2013. Case 1, Abdul Salam, July 1st, 2013. Here, Salam is seen victoriously smiling in celebration after the jury found Ruiz and 2 other cops liable for brutality against him. However, because the trial was civil, not criminal, Ruiz was not fired and he did not go to jail.
Police profiled me. They followed me in the back of my house, harassing me. Police proceeded to violently and hostilely approach my van with me and my son in it. As I announced, this was my home, guns drawn. Once they reached my vehicle, they violently pulled me out, ramshacked my vehicle with my 3-year-old son strapped in his car seat, threw me against the gate, slammed me repeatedly. Picked me up by my feet, and while I'm upside down, they proceeded to drop me on my head, hog-tie me, and immediately when I fell on my head, Ruiz, in a wrestling type of action, and kind of hit his knee against my neck. I was arrested. I had no idea what I was being arrested for. My son is scarred to this day. He remembers the incident as it happened yesterday. When he talks about it, he always refers to Daddy being on the floor with police yesterday.
Case 2, Darrell Harris, profiled, as seen in this video, July 17th, 2013.
Yeah, Sid, what's wrong with it? Improper way with it. There's no such thing as an improper way.
You gonna tell me my job, bro?
I know the law.
Are you gonna tell me the law?
I know the law.
You gonna tell me the
I know the law. What's the problem? You giving me a ticket? You need my license registration? Profile, y'all use the seatbelt as a reason. Profile.
Hold on a second, sir. Do me a favor, take out your keys.
Yeah, you can record. For what? Nah. I don't feel safe right now. Do you want me to step out the car? Do you want me to step out the car? I'll step out the car. Call the police, man. What are you calling, supervisor? I'm about to do shit. This is getting uploaded to the internet right now. Yeah?
And we are 2 law-abiding citizens that we are getting targeted, and I don't know why.
Just 24 hours later, Bernardez Ruiz played a leading role in the police killing of unarmed Tyrone West. Case number 3, the murder of Tyrone West, July 18th, 2013.
My brother Tyrone West was brutally murdered on July the 18th, 2013.
In both of these cases, when you look at the pleadings and the harsh language of these officers that have been quoted to me by reliable witnesses, the N-word.
And Killer Ruiz and Killer Chapman and the rest of those 11 to 15 killers, including David Lewis, took something from my family that they can never give us again. And that was my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man who was brutally murdered, beat to death in broad daylight.
Okay, mic check.
Mic check. Thank you everybody for tuning in, joining us. And I'm honored tonight to have my warrior brothers, on the line and taking their time as they always do to make sure community is good. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. I want to focus on the good in the hood. And that's why I use that topic, because we always focus on the negative stuff. And as the media would always play it, they always showing stuff that's wrong, but they never show stuff that's right. They never show the stuff that after all the stuff that we endure and one goes through, they don't show the other side of it. And tonight, my special guest, or our special guests are, we have Michael Brown, and we all know that Michael Brown is the father of Michael Brown Jr., Michael Brown Sr., I'm sorry, but he's here tonight, and I remember meeting him, when the uprising was happening in Ferguson, and he and his family, his beautiful wife, they have been fighting tirelessly for accountability, not just for Michael Brown, but literally for all the victims of police brutality and murder and everything else. And, and it's an honor. He does so much good in the hood. And when he comes on, I'll let him tell you everything, because last week he was going to do this, but again, he was doing good in the hood, and I'm let him tell everything. And then also my brother Malcolm, unfortunately, I had to meet him through trials as well. And he's been fighting tirelessly for accountability for Cello that was literally murdered by his probationary officer, literally. Like, that is heartbreaking. And he was on here a few weeks ago. He was on here on your Maggie's dad the last time we had Malcolm on here. And but tonight he has updates to tell you. And again, I'm just going to turn it over. We supposed to have my brother Boone, but he was having technical issues. I don't know if he's on yet, but he was definitely trying to log on. He's been trying to log on for the last 15, 20 minutes, but I told him if not, I would have to definitely connect him to the audio so at least you guys could talk to him. But my brother Boone does a lot here in Baltimore City. Like, he does a whole lot. So no further ado, I wanted to know, check in, Hillary, did Boone join us yet?
I have not seen him. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't seen him.
So I'll start off with my brother Michael Brown, and then we'll take it from there, and I'll try to reach Never Dawn. Mic check.
Mic check. Okay, Mr. Brown, I think she said you first.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Go ahead, bro. I hear you.
All right. So some of the things we've been doing, last week, I did an event called Hood Santa. We do give backs and stuff like that to the community. I dress up like Santa Claus because I feel like these kids need to know what Santa looks like. It looks like them in our community. I had Andrew Joseph in, Cortez Rice, about 15 other chosen fathers from St. Louis. That's one of my other programs. It's called Chosen Fathers. It's a group of fathers that have been impacted by community violence or police terror. I have another entity called Mothers of an Angel. It's a group of mothers that have been impacted by community violence and lost their loved ones through police brutality too. I have a new program that's that's launching in January 3rd. It's called COPES, Children Overcoming Painful Experiences with Support. That's our new program because, through all the trials and tribulations that we go through with the loss of our loved ones, sadly, sometimes the siblings are left behind. The siblings don't get the treatment that they need. And then when they get a certain age or they start spiraling out of control, people wondering what happened. Y'all know what happened because they ain't get the treatment that they needed when everybody thought that they were kids and they was going to get over it. So this program is definitely put together for them, out of all these entities, this is how I get my justice. You know what I'm saying? My family didn't get justice. I stay in the TV, the media, all that to piss these people off, let they know they never broke me. They're not going to break me. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep making noise. I'm going to keep building community. I'm going to keep doing these programs. So however they feel, they just going to feel it, August 9th is always one of the biggest times, the hardest times of our life. That's actually the day that Mike was murdered, 2014, in Ferguson. So, yeah, that's how this works with us. I'm not gonna stop fighting to my last breath. So, get used to seeing his face. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I have to say about that.
Awesome, Robin. I just want to shout you out, like completely shout you out, because I know the text you get, I see it, and you are, living proof that no matter what, we can still go on and we can still do stuff, in a positive way. And then it's called giving back. And as much as the text you get, even as a female, I get a tattoo. I just had a whole entire week of, oh my goodness, like had to just only person I could lean on, not even person, but just lean to God because it was way too much. It almost overtook me. But at the end of the day, I just want to I love when I see our king stand up. And before I bring my brother Malcolm on, I just want to let you guys know that I have Brother Boom on, or AKA Another Dog. Mr. Another Dog is right here with me on audio. So sorry that you guys can't see his face. And he's been trying, and it was doing the same thing because when I tried to log, it was asking me for all this information, all this foolishness. That's just what happens when you in Baltimore trying to fight. It's just like they block you and they try to shut you down. But no matter what, we always make a way around the fool. So, Another Dog, Mike Check, are you there, brother?
Mike Check, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yes. So after our brother Malcolm go on, then you can go on. So our brother Michael Brown was just talking. So after Malcolm, then you can go on. Mike Check.
Mic check.
Good. I got you.
All right. My name is Malcolm Pulliam. Again, thanks for having me again, T. Peace to you, brother Mike. It's crazy how I'm actually getting to meet you, considering I've been in this only for 6 months. You've been doing this since 2014, and we definitely been watching and paying attention to what you've been doing for your son, and we appreciate how you stepping about your baby. Again, my name is Malcolm Pulliam. How I got here, a friend of mine was murdered July 2nd of 2025 by his probation officer. Again, he was only the second person in the United States to be killed by his probation officer. He's the first person in Pennsylvania to be killed by a probation officer. And myself, along with the Erie community, we've been stepping and fighting to get justice for Marcello Woodard since July 2nd. The update with that is we finally got an arrest last week. We're still asking for transparency, and the reason I say that is because we haven't seen an arraignment, we haven't seen a mug shot, we haven't seen a fingerprint. So we want to make sure that he is where he is supposed to be. They send so many promises, but they broke a lot of promises. So until we see that transparency of where Kevin Sellinger is at, it'll make this whole community feel a little bit better. We've all been on edge since July 2nd because it was very quiet here. We didn't get any answers until last week. And we're talking about 5 months of silence from our local officials here. Again, we had a community behind a lot of people just raising noise and screaming his name and asking for people to come in and help to make sure that Marcello is able to get his justice. We're understanding that right now, this is not a win. It's just a small token of a piece of what justice is supposed to look and feel like, I would say. But again, he hasn't been arraigned. We haven't seen a mugshot. We haven't seen a fingerprint. We don't even know if he's in our local county prison. So we're going to keep stepping and fighting until we get those answers, and more importantly, until Marcello's family gets these answers. I've been screaming like, y'all had this guy out all these holidays. You know he was out for Thanksgiving. So we'll definitely take this as a Christmas present for the people in Erie, Pennsylvania, and of course, the people who've been following this case around the country. We've been trying to get traction on this case. So I've been stepping since July 2nd with this. I haven't took a day off about stepping for Marcello. And like you said, Mike, I don't plan on taking a day off until justice is served. Again, Marcello has 3 children, a mother, a father, and a host of a big family that are all dependent on us to keep screaming his name, keep stepping for justice, and more importantly, seeing justice all the way through. We know how these cases end, so we definitely have a long fight. Again, we're asking for transparency. We're also asking that he is prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. He took a life, and he must pay for that life that he has taken.
Amen. That's the truth. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, T. I pass it back to you.
No, I was saying, no, I'm sorry. She wasn't finished. I apologize. I say, go ahead and finish, my brother.
Well, I definitely know, Brother Mike, I hope to link up with you after this just so I can get some pointers, bring something back to our people, learn some things that y'all did in Ferguson that we can do here. Because this is something we learn something new every day. So I'm still learning as this process goes. And I hope I can get some good insight from you.
Okay, bro. We can exchange information. No problem.
Okay.
Awesome. Now I'll make sure I connect y'all to it. I'm gonna bring my brother Nevadon in, and I'm so used to calling him Boom because he used to be called Playful Keeps Boom, but he asked me to call him Nevadon. But no further ado, it's all on you, my brother. Mic check.
Mic check. We all we got. We all we need. First, I'd like to thank the West Coalition for keep going strong. Like I say, without y'all, a lot of voices would not have gotten heard. A lot of cases would not have gotten solved. And again, like I say, y'all, definitely, y'all been holding this, this torch for a while. Like Tawanda just said. It comes a time where people got to really see you for who you are. I'm 52 years old. When I came on the line, I was like 39 or something like that. So when you come on the line, people got to see evolution. When you sit in front of Annapolis people, I've never used Boom when I was in front of Annapolis. from the early 2000s of getting, like Tawanda always do. When I first came to the front line, I came to the front line with suits, derbies, and all these things as a never done, as I am, as is respected when you are the resurrection of the ex-offender in Baltimore City since 1997. Reason why I also use that name, because that name was not a name that was like that one time when I caught the murder charge that Baltimore City had gave me from a nasty judge by the name of Elizabeth Booth. Was a judge who was this bad from the actual bench, but she was able to accomplish the things that Ronald Reagan wanted to accomplish, which was Reaganomics and mass incarceration. Master Gilbert in Baltimore County and Judge Booth were some of the two tiny I would call what I call murderkins. I don't live in America. In Baltimore City, it's called America. We have never experienced America a day in our life. That's actually that might be out there like I guess Pasadena, Whitemore, or something like that. I don't know. But in our case, with me working with the resurrection of the ex-offender, my name actually has case laws because I was charged with murders that I did not do, because the work that Tawanda do, I do. I've been doing that all my life. And if you do this work, you probably have more hits on your life than actually somebody that's working with money in the underworld. And your family has been attacked. Never Done versus State is a precedent case of hearsay evidence. Young men across the world every day gets out of court and come home, but lawyers want to charge them $20,000 and $30,000 just to give them that case law information. So what we have done was formed our own ex-offender-led organization, which right now is called Hope Baltimore, help oppressed people excel. It says excel, not get a job, not just get a house, own your home, own your business, and get, again, your knowledge of self, not just the basics of what Murdica in America wants to hand the 3/5 of a man, let alone a felon, under the 13th Amendment. We have our own nation in Baltimore because felons can vote, felons can run for office. So once that happens, the citizen has no responsibility for the pursuit of a felon. A nomad felon is a liability. In our city, it takes a felon to lead a felon to the water of flame. So if I've been home since 1997 and you have not been around me, you probably are in jail and repeatedly go to jail and don't know how to not go to jail. Because in Baltimore, you're going to jail 3 or more times. I've only went there once. I don't like dudes, and I do like my family. So, you know, if you want to stay home in Baltimore, Davon Antonio Never Done will say on this very West Wednesday that Baltimore City is the #1 resurrected ex-offender capital of the United States of America. And I'm one of the graduates of that school still in it. And you can come to Hope Baltimore if you want to stay home. A lot of men and women don't want to stay home. So that's why we are dealing with the things we are dealing with sometimes that we find that our young men, not all of them as we know, with the tragedies of Tyrone and Mike Brown and Kareem Gaines. A lot of our young men, if you notice now, if you look across your Facebook, you're seeing a lot of missing. No one's missing. Black people don't go missing. We go hungry. We want to go big. We want to go on the run. We can't even run away good. So it's not missing. That's not missing. And a lot of us just scroll by it. So it's all a practice in what's going on. The prisons go along with the organs. As you've been on West Wednesday Coalition, you would see that a lot of young men that get locked up, no mothers, no fathers, when they die, those organs, or they probably get them chopped up real good about 25 or 30 years old inside the prison so they can use the organs. So everything that's going on is actually supposed to be going on. It's just that people like us have actually been exposing it and been under death threats ever since. And it's so many people in this city who are Negropeans who take the 30 pieces of silver to make sure that white supremacy cannot exist without black participation. And Baltimore is a very white supremacist participating city when 30 pieces of silver comes down the table. So all black ain't black and all white ain't white. I've seen more things get done for a pursuit of happiness for the felons in more white ran cities with 10% black people in it than I've ever seen from the melanated cities of Atlanta, Mississippi, Baltimore. They have some of the lack of pursuit for blacks. Goddamn Arizona. Excuse my language. So again, we are dealing with the tyranny of Negro pianism, Black oppression, with no white participation, because they don't have to do anything in my city, but just I guess a phone call comes from Annapolis, and they put them in check a little bit. But my city is ran by Annapolis, Mike Brownerites, and again, deities. Also, it's not the Greater Baltimore Committee. It's called the EU. It's just so many things that what you're looking at is not what is ran by. And the organizations, most of them that you do see as the government shut down, who loan you. So my organization is ran by ex-offenders. We use our own money because as the government is shutting down, we just had our gala for ex-offenders, our first big one, went in there swagged up, and we had a nice Christmas party using our own money, waiting again to finish up next year. So we just try to tell people who loan you, own you. It's not that the government shut down. I would not participate in a relapse program if I was getting high, because it would get cut down and I would be getting high more than I ever did after they used the money. It's divine.
Well, I definitely thank you for. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tamara.
No, you're saying everything is good, but I see we have a lot of questions and comments, so I wanted to check in real quick first to see if my brother Mike or Malcolm want to say anything before we go on to the questions and comments. Mike, check.
No, I don't have nothing to say. I could get it right into that. I don't know if Brother Malcolm.
Hey, for me, I just want everybody to keep paying attention to Erie, Pennsylvania. Keep paying attention to what's going on here concerning Marcello Woodard. Do not turn a blind eye. I live in a city of just under 100,000, so it's not a big place here, but they will try to sweep things under the rug, and this needs to go as far as it can reach until we get justice for Marcello.
Justice.
Absolutely, justice. Absolutely, definitely. So is Khalil in there to read the questions or comments? Mic check.
Mic check. Yes, Kalia is here.
Mic check. Yes, so starting off. Hi, Tawanda. Starting off, I commented, mic check. Happy holidays, everyone. Cindy Lee Traber said, #justice for Cello, #justice for Michael Brown. Craig Woodard Sr. Said, #justice for Cello, and #justice for Michael Brown, #justice for Tyrone West. Cindy commented, #justice for Tyrone West. AC Britt, mic check. Michelle Dovashaw, #justice for Cello. AC Britt, good evening, gentlemen. Michelle Dovashaw, #justice for Mike Brown, and #justice for Tyrone West. Craig Woodard Sr. said, Mr. Brown, I'm sorry for your loss. We, the country, stand behind you and your family. Shamel Henderson commented, justice for Cello. AC Brown commented, justice for Bilal, justice for Tyrone West, justice for Cello, justice for Timothy Fleming. Craig Woodard Sr. said, Day 6, the journey of the conviction of Kevin Seelinger. AC Britt said, justice for Michael Brown, justice for Tamir Rice, justice for Trayvon Martin, justice for all victims of police brutality. Shamel Henderson, #justice for Michael Brown. Michelle Dovashaw said, I protested for Mike Brown. I protested for your son in Georgia. We will not stop until our Black men and women are not being murdered by law enforcement. Chris Cooley said, justice for Cello. Alicia Michelle, justice for Cello. Shamel Henderson, justice for Cello. Craig Woodard Sr. said, out of 169 days. Denise Ann said, Malcolm Polian, Craig Woodard Sr., Jerry Roberts, Deontay Cooley, you have all inspired me. Craig Woodard Sr., we definitely thank you for that. Nikki Torrey, #justice for Cello. Michelle Dovashaw said, yes, preach on that. Denise Ann, #justice for Cello and justice for his children. Michelle Dovashaw, if we do get a guilty verdict for Marcello, the racist white people are going to be shooting. Shamel Henderson said, #Tyrone West. Craig Woodard Sr. said, we demand a fair and just trial, #justice for Cello. Those are all the comments. Mic check.
Mic check.
My check. And thank you so much for reading all those comments. And again, guys, I just want to like give y'all like a big shout out. I'm giving y'all virtual hugs because the work is definitely needed, especially in the society we live in. I know how hard it is being a Black woman in America. So I can only imagine how it feels to be a Black man in America. It's heartbreaking. And just knowing how my brother Tyrone West, one unarmed man, was executed for no reason but driving while Black in America, nothing. And then I just want, like I said, give you all a personal shout out because, like, everywhere I go, my brother never done always make sure people, like when I was up there in Ferguson and just different places, like I've been all around the world trying to hold it down for all the victims of police brutality and murder. And no matter what city or state I'm in, Brother Boom, aka Another Don, always checks on me. And I wish I had that clip, but it was funny because one of his videos had went viral, and Kevin Hart, and I'll make sure both of you brothers get that video, but Kevin Hart, it was when the time when he had when Pastor Jamal Brown, who never ever would talk about us, and it's so ironic that I'm glad my brother Michael is on here. So Michael, it was a time when I think y'all was in Baltimore, and he was, he brought y'all to his big mega church in Baltimore. And literally, and that's before me and you even connect. Like, I went to Ferguson, but it was like so much happening, when the uprising happened. So, we didn't get a chance to like formally introduce ourselves. And I was waiting to meet you. He told me to wait, and he was going to bring us back together and like the lower part of the church and everything. And then the next thing I knew, y'all was gone, and then he went on to say all this foolishness like, okay, Miss Jones, I'm gonna bring you back and we're gonna fight real hard for your brother. I got you. And never did everything that happened literally happen after my brother. So he would go to different cities, and not when my brother's blood was laying on the ground all these weeks, and I've been out on the street fighting, getting death threats, not selling my soul. No money could buy me. Now you couldn't write a check fat enough for me to sell my brother's soul. So with that being said, being so compassionate and just really fighting, he turned his back on me. Literally, he showed up at a West Wednesday, and then my brother Boone respectfully let me have my West Wednesday outside. But literally, after West Wednesday was over, he G-check. He told him to get out of Baltimore. And then that video went viral. And then y'all know Kevin Hart, he's a comedian, so he started saying all this funny stuff like, I can't sleep at night, and all this. It was just real funny. I gotta send y'all, like, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna make sure I send it to y'all. It's gonna crack y'all up. Something to watch and laugh at. But yeah, but the pain is not, funny, but this when Kevin Hart broke it down, was acting like he was born talking about one man, one fight, like all this stuff. It was so funny. Yeah, but do y'all want to say anything else before we literally, because I know you guys got to be with y'all family, and I respect your time. I really do. So whatever else y'all want to say, feel free. Mic check.
Anybody
I
go first?
definitely want to say something real quick, just so people understand what we're actually going through. Even though they arrested Kevin Sellinger, we want to make sure people understand that the FOP that represents his organization, represents him, the probation officers organization. They put out a statement, and that statement basically condoned what the probation officer did to Marcella Woodard. And then at the end of that statement, after they condoned him murdering him, they had the nerve to say they wish the family well, and all of that, blah blah blah. But that just shows you what type of time we living in, where they will actually put out a statement condoning one of their own of murdering an unarmed Black man, and then in the same breath try to apologize for his actions. So if you understand what I'm saying, then you understand that they are really going to go as far as they can to make sure that he is not convicted of this crime. Again, I told you the last time we was on here that they raised so much money for this man so that he has a good defense, and everything that they've done thus far with harboring him and catering to him and babying him and just treating him as if he was a celebrity for taking out one of our black brothers in Erie, Pennsylvania, doesn't sit right with me. We all feel some type of way here in this community, just how this has been handled. And they understand that we are not going away until justice is served. So the mouths and the people that have been constantly talking and going to those meetings and trying to create change will continue to do just that. We understand we need to create change with policy. So we've also shifted into phase 2, which is just that, create change in policy. So we want those people to understand that we're on top of our A game. And again, we're learning every day, but we're going to continue this mission until he is locked up, and we know he is really locked up. And again, our goal is to create change, and by change, we must need and use different policies that betters our people here so that this doesn't happen again. Again, if people don't understand this wasn't a police officer. This was a probation officer. He's the second person in the United States to be killed by their probation officer, and he's the first person in Pennsylvania to be killed by their probation officer. And with that, I pass it to you, Brother Mike.
So I would just say, for the people, they can follow me on the Michael Brown Senior Chosen for Change organization, where they can see all the work that we've been doing over the years. This is how I build my power. This is how I get my justice. Since we didn't get it from the people that's supposed to serve and protect us, I'm taking my own justice. So I get it how I'm gonna get it. They don't like it. So what? This is where we at. And what I want to say to you, brother, put your arm on. It's gonna be more disrespect coming out for your family and your people, bro. Don't bow down. Keep pushing. Head up high, man. 10 toes down, bro. Keep fighting.
Absolutely. And Brother Boom, you want to say something?
Well, as you know, as I come in, I leave. I'm on the we all we got, we all we need tip. But what I will say is, if anybody that is listening, I used to say, a lot of people don't know that my kids in the 30s. I got grandkids, and again, I only came on the line because I had kids at a young age, and I knew one day that it would be that I would have to be in one of these situations that's on this phone. Even if I wasn't in it at that time, because my family today, Tawanda's family did tomorrow, Mr. Brown's family the next day. I don't want it to be no family. What me and Tawanda say is, we don't want you in our sibling, a murdered sibling family. We don't want you here. That's something we have, but we don't want you to be part of the murdered siblings or murdered siblings. So you're getting active, maybe creating your own. Wherever you believe that you're supposed to, you create that. You call one of us, and we can get it done. We with it, because again, at this time, we all we got, we all we need. First, I always told everybody that we should have to get that lessons for our sons.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to say, like, even though in every situation it seems a little different, but again, it's called the highway of hell. All of these are connecting issues that hurts our people, rather it's the PO, rather it's, somebody falsely accused like Neverdon was. They really tried to send him to jail for a body that he didn't do because he was so powerful in the streets. They tried to take him away at a young age, and he's still a living testimony that I can do whatever I want to, and I'm going to keep on fighting peaceful and respectfully no matter what you're doing. So I just commend y'all, and I want to also let y'all know soon I'll be connecting with my brother Kenneth. He literally just lost one of his baby daughters. He was him and his wife had their baby beautiful twin daughters was born on I believe it was October the 23rd, and literally at this hospital, racist hospital in Dallas, Texas, they actually let one of his baby girls die. And not only if that wasn't heartbreaking enough, they had the nerve to take this baby organs. And it's so heartbreaking whenever I meet with him on weekly chats. We're gonna definitely need, and I'm definitely gonna connect y'all because he need all the brotherly love and support. And this brother's out there like fighting and talking, and we want accountability for his baby daughter. To make one of the
Man, we're flying out there. We ain't no simps. We coming out there. We in everybody's hood. Call, if you don't open your mouth, it'll never happen. You call your house, post it up in Texas somewhere, right there. Let's go.
Absolutely. And I'm waiting for my brother Malcolm to let me know when we're going to do a big demonstration there so all of us can come down there and support y'all.
We out there down there from Baltimore. We'll walk from that. I bet you we have enough. Didn't our family do it from Milwaukee to Baltimore? Yes. Didn't Khalil come from Milwaukee to Baltimore in his march? Let's go. We all we got.
Absolutely.
So, Kalia, can you check and see any questions or comments before I let these brothers go? Because I know they got to get back to their families and I respect their time. Mic check.
Mic check, yes. Real quick, I'll read one that Adina sent to me because it was being sent to YouTube. She commented, y'all just need to get pointers on how to stay safe. They've been killing off activists in Ferguson. From Jerry Roberts, hashtag justice for Cello. Malcolm is passionate about what we are fighting for. Shamir Henderson commented, hashtag justice for Cello. Alicia Michelle, hashtag Tyrone West, hashtag Michael Brown. Craig Woodard Sr., Malcolm, thanks for leading the team. We appreciate you. Hashtag justice for Cello. Yes, comments being censored again. Jerry Roberts, hashtag Tyrone West. Cindy Lee commented, Mr. Brown, do you have any suggestions for the activists in these fights for justice? Would you like to answer that real quick?
And real fast, I just want to let you know just for being on my sister's show this weekend. So now they have all these platforms that the only word, we can't use words like KIL. We have to use, and sound like it's a fantasy, we have to use unalive. So that's why they're saying this. It's real crazy that they can do that to us, but yet we have to be responsible and respectful how we say what they did. So if y'all want to say something, just please say unalive, which is really absurd to me, but it is what it is. So that way we won't be censored and flagged and all that foolishness. But go ahead, my brother, my chat.
Now, I would say to that question, to the activists, when you come to these situations, when someone has lost their loved one, ask these families what they need. Don't just come in doing what you think they need. Ask them what they need. So the process of that can be done in the correct way. Because we got so many people come in, police, lambs, chasers, and all this old crazy stuff. People building organizations up under loved one's name, stealing money. I done been through it all. I don't trust nobody. So at least saying that, be respectable. Always be respectful to the families and tell them and ask them what do they need before you think you know what they need. You know what I'm saying? Respect.
That's right. For me, I stayed away from the family aspect of that. I didn't want no part of that intermediate family. I do speak to them, but I know my position is boots on the ground, and that's how I roll. I don't. I'm just out here to keep Tello's name alive, and keep fighting for justice. You know, I do want to say before I leave, Cello's cousin was protesting with us too, and he ended up getting he ended up getting killed during the time of Cello passing. He was killed also a couple weeks after. So I do want to say rest in peace to Smoothie. He was out there fighting for justice for his cousin, and his life ended up being taken away. So I want to make sure that I show him his love because he was a good friend of mine. Also, a couple weeks ago here in Erie, Pennsylvania, a good friend and family friend of my family and my sons, his name was Michael Mandrella. He was also killed here a couple weeks ago. His family is still seeking justice. I hope that they get that justice for Michael. He was a good young kid. He was only 23 years old. And he was shot and killed here. So I just want to send my condolences to his family. And I know they know that we love them and we've been praying for them. And they're going to get their justice. So again, rest in peace to Smoothie. And rest in peace to Mike Mandrella. Y'all definitely missed out here on these streets in Erie, Pennsylvania. And also, the reason I'm here, rest in peace to Cello. And we going to see this justice for you all the way through. Your kids love and miss you. Your family love and miss you. And this fight, I'm going to keep fighting until we get this right. And I'm also going to get these pointers from Brother Mike. I appreciate you willing to even talk to me to make me understand how to keep going doing this. Again, this is something that I was just learning day by day. I jumped off the porch. I didn't know what to do. We only seen this on TV, and we seen you with your son, and it's just crazy that this is how people actually meet nowadays. It's unreal. So I want to thank you for extending that olive branch to me.
It's all love, brother. And that wasn't directed to you. It was a question that was asking about the activists.
Okay.
You consider family to their family. That wasn't directed to you, brother. All right, Tawana, you got the mic.
No. And I just wanted to say, and I appreciate what you said, Brother Michael, as well, because a lot of people do come on like thinking that they know what the family want, and they don't ask, And sometimes, and then especially like your mind is already gone because your loved one was snatched or whatever happened. You're already traumatized, and then sometimes people can have the best interest at heart, but the clear cut thing of what you said mean everything. Is just ask them what they want, and people will respect that more instead of you like assuming and jumping. So I'm glad you brought that out, because a lot of times, like when me and my family was out there, we didn't know what direction to go to, and a lot of people support a lot did ask, but then there was others that didn't and just assumed, oh, we need this, you need that, do this, or tell us to do that, try to tell us when to have stuff for our loved one. It was our loved one that got, analyzed. So, that made us feel disrespected. Like, wait a minute, how you going to tell us, you're giving, like I remember my brother was unalive. We had got like community support, and then but one person was like, okay, we want y'all to have a candlelight visual next week. We like, no, we don't want a candlelight visual next week. We trying to process this. Nobody even talked to my family yet, so they kind of stepped off and wrapped up and left. And this was like, so that was a great, excellent point, and I just thank you.
I got one more thing, Wanda. I want to just give a small example, because it was activists in St. Louis that was helping the family. They was bringing them food, gave them money and all that. And then they came to me. They was like, dang, Mike, man, we've been doing everything. You know what I'm saying? But I said, did you ask them what did they need? Go and ask them what they need. He don't want to talk to us no more. I went and asked the family what do they need. You know what he said? He said, I need my son blood clinked out my van so I can take my family where they need to go. So we have to be careful with these families now. You got to be careful because you got to ask the family what do they need, because other people think that they know what we need, and we are thankful. Not saying that we're not thankful, but at the time of that, we really not thinking straight. So we have to have critical questions asked to us, so our mind can snap and answer the question correctly, because we in the tunnel. We're in a dark place. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, I ain't gonna hold too much time.
Yes.
Man, this part right here is probably one of the best parts that we do have because, like y'all say, it's so many ways that where someone does not know what they need. I have seen and experienced where the outside of society has added more to the situation and messed it up than what it actually was because they assume. Where I could use a situation where my son got hit 9 times. Most of the city didn't want nobody to know. I did enough that I could. I didn't want it across Facebook. I wanted to stay as a John Doe because the safety of me and Tawan to know what I look like calling the police for my son getting hit. No, we can't do that. But if everybody's sitting up here wanting to gossip about it or wanting to let somebody know, and if nobody knew, and we got this, because sometimes some families do have, they actually got it. Like they actually do have doctors and lawyers, and they actually do have it. They actually may not need anyone, but some people just what we say, murder chase or avalanche chase, and the whole time. In my case, it almost damaged us to expose my son to get hit rather than just stay away from me. I'm okay. Don't ask me nothing. If I tell you I don't need nothing, that's really what I don't need. I don't need anything. Don't assume and just don't go straight on Facebook and go stupid when I told you not to, because we're telling you that's what I need. I need silence right now. Do it.
Nice. So powerful tonight, guys. I just thank y'all, and I want to thank everybody that tuned in. We got a lot more comments, but we can read them and just wrap up, and y'all can get back to your families. But y'all have been a blessing to me because all I want for this Christmas is accountability for my big brother Tyrone West. I want to hear from the AG office now that they deemed it a murderer. When is these cops going to be in a cell block? That's all I want. That's the biggest Christmas present I want.
Hey, can I say one more thing? I want to pray for all these. I want to just love on all these families that have lost their loved one. That empty chair around the holidays is a beast. Yes. The empty chair around the holidays is a beast. I'm sending my love from St. Louis, Ferguson, sadly, all across this country for love.
I'd like to give a shout out to the brothers and sisters who are going to be experiencing their first Christmas or first year that they had, this their first year without their loved one. You might have been with them for 20, 30. That first year is like the worst. It might not even hit you, but we here and we love you and we know it, and you're not alone. We go through it every day, but we're going to carry the cross.
Amen. And you touched the volume because it's that empty chair, brother. What you said, it breaks my heart. And then now it's seeming like we're not just having that one cheer, we're having cheers with an S, and it's so heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. So definitely, if anybody going through that right now, I just ask you, and it could be from murder, it could just be you lost your loved one from a sickness. Just, love on your family. Let the love lead the way. That's all I say. Let the love lead the way. Reminisce on all the love that you have for your loved ones, because even though they might be gone from the physical, but they can never be gone from a place in our heart that nobody can touch. So I want to check in real quick with the questions and comments, and I definitely will let you brothers go. And I just thank y'all so much. Definitely. Mike check.
Mike check.
Mike check. AC Britt said, yeah, we went through hell getting none of these cases removed from the local state's attorneys to the attorney general's office, and all they've done is stick with the status quo. Dog and pony show, and still not the cops. Craig Woodard Sr. said, we all know Kevin Seelinger wasn't dragged. That was an excuse for him to shoot and kill Cello. This has to stop. Hashtag justice for Cello. Michelle Dovershaw, we need change. Yes, Brother Malcolm. AC Britt, they justify the injustices, and it's getting to the point where this peaceful approach needs to be examined for not being sufficient in gaining accountability. Denise Ann said, I lost audio. AC Britt, ICE just used the same excuse to shoot someone in Glen Burnie today. Jerry Roberts said, come to us. Michelle Dovershaw, yes. Cindy Lee included a Facebook link. Michelle Dovershaw said, definitely. Craig Woodard Sr., hashtag we all we got. Michelle Dovershaw, we check in every day with each other. Bruce Emmerling, sorry to be so late tonight. AC Britt, blessing, love, and light to y'all and your families. Bruce Emmerling, happy holidays, everyone. AC Britt, they're out here purging young men. Y'all be safe out there. Correction, young black men. Craig Woodard Sr. said, a tough day tomorrow for Cello's kids, Malachi, Micaiah, and Major. Please lift them up in prayer. Hashtag justice for Cello. AC Britt, peace, light, and love to Cello's children and family. Bruce Emmerling, terrible what's going on out there. Ajay Lastar Owen said, speak. Shamel Henderson, hashtag justice for Cello. Michelle Dovashaw, much love. Sue Clark, accountability is a must. Hashtag justice for Cello. And Suzanne commented, hashtag justice for Cello. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check. Yeah, and I thank you. And literally, again, I want everybody to have a blessed and safe holiday season, and just the time you spend with your family, because a lot of people don't celebrate holidays or whatever the case may be, but we always love spending time with our family. So I just want, and I feel so sorry for Cello children. I feel sorry for you, Michael Brown, for your son not being here, even though you have other kids that you're pouring into and raising, and you're doing, by the way, you are doing an awesome job. You and your wife are doing an amazing job, because I see that all the time. So I just love y'all. And one last thing before I let y'all go, I just want to real quick, my brother Mike, can we just touch on real fast about, like, because everybody needs to know retaliation is real, right? And about, like, how some of the activists were targeted when they stood on that front line for standing up for you and your family. Could you just touch on that for maybe like just a minute, if you have enough time to do that? Mic check.
I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat the question, please?
No, so the question is, I wanted to talk about, like, activists that stand up, because a lot of brothers that was in Ferguson, they were like targeted and stuff happened to them. And what advice would you offer, like, people when they put their bodies on the line, or anything that you want to add about that, that happened when, like, activists get targeted? Like, what would you tell us? Like, what can we do to, like, make the world know to kind of watch us?
Well, to think about all of that, to be honest, these activists definitely was targeted. Sadly, to their family, I appreciate them putting their life on the line for my family. I say that. But what I will say is that once you jump off that porch and these people don't like what you're doing, they coming. Sadly, I was dropped in this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking nothing away from the activists, but this was a choice for them to do this. I have no choice. This is what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? So with me and my and how I feel, as soon as I open my mouth, I knew death is around the corner with this. You know what I'm saying? So this is the territory that we in. We in a territory that they don't like. They want us to shut up, roll over, obey, don't say nothing. This is what they supposed to do. Nah. People voicing their opinion. They standing up. They're not playing with them. They let them know we ain't scared. It's so many young guys not scared. Why in some cities, like Georgia, Augusta, I think it's Augusta I went to, they still walking past white people with their head down. No, I don't understand this. So it's yeah. I'm gonna stop there.
That's deep. That's deep, brother. That is deep. But I'm glad that you got to prepare that. You got to prepare people like me. You know what I mean? Well, we feel it here. A good friend that's rocking with us. He's been noticing a couple things. So we've been paying attention to what we need to pay attention to as far as making sure we stay safe. I think we lost Mike.
No, I'm here. I'm here, brother. I'm
Okay.
here. That's good. That's good news. That's good news. And two, another thing, please stay together. Make sure they stay together.
Hello?
We definitely, you know, we had some hiccups along the way, but we got it back to where it needed to be. And again, I understand that this is designed to break you and make you go against each other so that y'all start looking crazy and you're tit for tat and you're going back and forth with each other, and everything is so accessible on social media now that you know you see everything, you hear everything, you hear the truth, you hear the lies, you hear the who want this, who getting that. But for the most part, we understand that this is not about us. This is about getting justice for Cello, and that is the only thing that matters right now. This ain't about me. Just one small piece of the fight. And I'm gonna continue using my voice until that they get justice for that young man. You know, it hurts to see his 8-year-old son, all his kids, but the 8-year-old is going through some stuff. You know, he got a picture. I got a picture on my page where he went to sleep next to a blown up picture of his dad, and like, you know, that stuff like that hurt because he got a lot of questions as to why did this man do this to his father, and we can't answer that for him right now. You know, we get it's sad to say that it's people actually really laughing about this matter, and this he's 8 years old. Some of the stuff that I've seen, I would never think that our society would actually think that this is okay, and it is just sad. So that's just a reason for me to keep going harder to make sure that, if nothing else, justice has to be served. Just the way that they walked us along this journey that we've been through. I wouldn't wish this on anybody, especially the people that's actually active in this, that see what they're doing. It's crazy. So I can only imagine what you went through in 2014.
Yeah.
Because what we're going through is it's a tragedy. And when we started it, I've always called this was an injustice. It was a misuse of power. It was everything that we seen with Job, what we seen with George Floyd, with Breonna Taylor. For us to see that here in Erie, Pennsylvania, I would have never thought in a million years that we would see that. Now we've seen the police beat up people, but we've never seen a probation officer kill somebody. And before I go, Mike, I don't think that I told you this part. The interesting part about this is Marcello had 2 weeks of probation left, and he was maxed out. He was done.
Wow.
So that makes this case even more bizarre, because you're on probation. Normally they say, hey, you got 2 weeks left. Come back and sign these papers. Don't get in no more trouble.
Right.
On top of, they said that he was stopped driving his car in front of his girlfriend's house. They said this was a compliance check. He doesn't live with the girlfriend. He has his own house where they go and check. On top of all the other crazy stuff that they said that led up to this, and well after this, it's a lot of stuff that don't add up. And for them to take 5 months to actually charge this probation officer, and again, we still asking for transparency, because again, we didn't get the mug shot. We didn't get to see him get dropped to the police car. We didn't get to see the fingerprints. We don't know none. We have no answers. If you look online, they scrubbed the record, so you can't even see if he is in the Erie County prison or is he somewhere else.
Yeah, it just shows you how they protect their own, brother. They definitely do that, you know. So You know, just like up until this day, we still get hate mail. So it comes with the territory, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's just you build the team and you don't stop. I can say, bro.
That's all we do. Like my brother Boom said, we all we got, we all we need, because that's exactly, they're not gonna be here for us. Like I had my cousin that was a frontline activist that was unalived here in Baltimore by a white serial killer who they still hiding in the system. They still got him, and they got him under a dirty cop name, got him hidden in the system under Patrick Wheeler when his name is Edward Sports, a serial killer from B-More. They killed 5 black, killed people. I mean, unalive people. So with that being said, I just want to thank y'all. I love y'all. And real quick, Khalil, can you check the questions, comments, and I'm letting these brothers loose. Thank y'all so much. Mic check.
Adina commented, yes, all of this 100%. They want to alienate you. All you need is just one person to stick to you like glue, so you're not an easy target. Racists are disgusting, and sorry excuses for humans, going after children of victims. He's out in Hagerstown. Jerry Roberts, can't stop, won't stop. That's been my motto since they killed my cousin Cello. Adina said, been tracking his ass. Mic check.
Mic check.
Oh, one more, sorry. Mr. Brown, to Wanda, never done. You have no idea how much we needed this encouragement today. Thank you all. Mic check.
No, thank you all. And that's the saying that I've been lived by. That saying that got twisted, turned, burnt, all type of stuff. But again, I'll say we can't stop. We won't stop until all these, cell blocks, whether it's a PO, whether it's a doctor, we don't care who it is. We want accountability for our loved ones. So again, a big salute to Michael Brown, a big salute to Malcolm, a big salute to my brother Neverdon, and a big salute to the West Coalition, and a big salute to everybody that complimented and commented and everything else. Remember, live to love, love to live. I'm not even going to read the sad list tonight. We want to be in happy spirits as we enter into these happy times of being with our families, rather if you celebrate holidays or not. But y'all gave me the biggest gift ever tonight, and y'all gave everybody. So I just thank y'all, brothers. We love y'all. Salute, fist up. And this is not going to be our last time connecting. We'll be back with each other real soon. Love y'all, guys. Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Ready for the part 2, Tawanda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can play part 2 and close us out.
All right. Mic check.
And Mr. West begging for his life, and Mr. Salam begging for his child to be excluded and comforted from what was taking place. Not for himself, but for his 3-year-old child.
Case number 4, Adina Britt and family, September 10th, 2015.
My name is Adina Britt, and I wanted to submit a 30-second testimonial that Jorge Omar Bernardez Ruiz is one of the 11 terrorists that came into my house performing a home invasion in September 2015, terrorizing my entire family and even holding my 12-year-old son at gunpoint. He needs to be stopped.
Case number 5, unidentified arrestee, assaulted in 2016.
I suggest you back the fuck up. No, why you want to talk to me? Why would you say that?
Again, this video did not surface until the summer of 2020. Case 6, Thomas McCullough, May 2016 and February 2017.
I heard my front door coming off the hinges like it exploded.
Thomas McCullough says it happened twice. In May 2016 and February 2017, Baltimore City Police burst through his green front door and raided his Pimlico home.
They said police. They come up, shotguns, guns.
He says officers ransacked the place, looking for drugs, money, and weapons. He took pictures of the damage he says they left behind.
Tell us where the drugs are, the scales, the guns, and them large amounts of money.
Nothing was found. Now he's suing police, claiming officers, including a former member of the gun trace task force, frightened him, his wife, and father-in-law when the officers conducted what his suit calls an illegal search of his home. The owner of the house tells 11 News after the second raid, he had to replace the front door. McCullough and his attorney say they want Baltimore police held accountable.
There is a colossal breach of trust.
And McCullough tells us following both raids, no one was arrested or charged.
This all begs the question, when will Baltimore City State's attorney see the prosecution of Bernardez Ruiz as warranted?
They were the stopping officers in these so-called jump-out cars, unmarked and so forth, that stopped both the West vehicle and the Salon vehicle without probable cause. And these officers are the ones that also were joined by others, but they are the ones who initiated the stops, pulled both men out of the vehicles, and commenced the vicious activity that was thrust upon them.
And the officer Ruiz that started this attack is still working and working with promotions. He is now sergeant. But the fact that this repeat violent offender had a history leading up to my brother. There was Darrell Harris, there was James Green, Joseph Green, Abdul Salam. No one family deserves to be brutally murdered or brutalized by this repeat violent offender Ruiz. It is time we take action. The time is now.
Baltimore police officer Jorge Bernardez Ruiz is a repeat violent offender. Based on these accounts, in accordance with the law, we, the West Coalition, call for him to be fired, prosecuted, and incarcerated.
We're more than hashtags and body bags. We're more than being 6 feet in the dirt and pictures and buttons on t-shirts. Our lives matter.
For the safety of our city, the prevention of further harm, and the justice for these families, we see no other option.
And again, I'll say, the time is now.